Hey, what's going on, people?
Oh, what's up?
How you guys doing? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Jeff, where are you? In the car?
I can't hear you, Jeff.
I figured I'd just go live, guys. So we're live. What's going on? What's going on?
You know, same old, same old.
Yeah, been a crazy weekend. Definitely been a crazy weekend with games. Back at it again. Another match review with the Gunners crew. Oh my goodness. How you guys feeling about that game? For me, as a neutral fan, I think Jeff just had to step out for a bit. As a neutral fan, Joe, I looked at it and it wasn't a bad game. It wasn't a bad game. I know a lot of people had said, Arsenal will it's probably going to be a 5-0 kind of game, but I think you guys stood your ground. And apart from the first goal, I don't think City really had, there wasn't too much of a threat from City. But yeah, how you feeling about that game?
To be honest, like I don't know. I know what you're saying, right? But I didn't leave feeling too happy because I thought we were set up to defend, and after City scored that first goal, they kind of ran all over us. So I mean, they kind of took their they took their kind of just started to relax a bit. So I feel I wish we played to our strengths a little bit more. I think Arteta tried too hard to out Pep, and
Yeah,
I don't know. It's to me, it didn't work. Like we don't have the quality to defend against City. So sometimes you just got to play to your strengths. Like I would personally, my philosophy is I'd rather lose 3-1, 3-2, trying to play the way we want to play than trying to play a style that doesn't suit us and leave, losing 1-0. Like it didn't feel like we did much in that game.
sorry about that, guys. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that, Joe.
I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Okay. So, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. The laptop is acting crazy with the internet, so I have to use my phone. Okay. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, yeah, you can continue. Sorry about that. I just had to switch devices.
No, I mean, all I was saying is that sometimes you got to play to your strengths, right? And we didn't. We tried to nullify City's strengths. So we tried to nullify City's, midfield of De Bruyne and Gundogan, and we tried to nullify what they do on the wings. But we don't have the personnel to do that. We don't have the personnel to change up our tactics like that, right? So
Yeah.
we've sort of discovered a winning formula in the last month or so. So play that team, right? Play your best 11, and what comes out of it comes out of it. Oh, got the whole crew here.
Yeah, everyone's here today.
I was just telling Josh, like I Arteta in, man, all the way. I love Arteta.
The facetiousness is palpable, man.
I'm gonna have to eat crow on this episode. The last time I was on here, when Joel was here, I was going off on Arteta, and I would have to say I've seen the light. I'm good with Arteta, to be honest. I'm good. I'm glad that he's made the changes. I'm good.
All right. I guess I'm gonna have to be that guy today then, because what I saw today was somebody who was too sheepish to make the decisions that he needed to make. He made them too late. He was applauding them when they were doing nothing. When, like, the thing we had 0 shots on target in the second half. 0 shots on target. I don't even know what the stat was at the end, but I'm pretty sure we had maybe 1 shot on target, and it hit Aubameyang, who was offside. So I think Arteta has done a good job making the changes. I just think he's done it a little bit too late, and now we're going to end up suffering for it at the end of the season. I just don't see him being able to tell the management that Pepe is garbage and he needs to move on. You spent 72 million on him. It doesn't matter. It's time to just move on. And so I honestly think that's why he played Pepe. I don't think he played Pepe because he thought he was the best for that position. I think he played Pepe for 2 reasons. One, counterattack. But if you're counterattacking, you didn't set up your team to be able to play the ball in the counterattacking fashion like the way Pochettino did with PSG. He literally had Mbappe, literally just Mbappe in the Camp Nou. And everything they did was pass the ball out wide. Cardi did it. Moise Kean did it. Nobody on Arsenal understood that you needed to play the ball out wide to Pepe. The right side was completely dead. So I'm going off because I warned you, Josh. There's going to be a lot of anger management going on today because I felt like Arteta was slow to make the decisions he made. But when he made the decisions, it was good. ESR over Ceballos, 100% agree with that. And like you said, Joel, not be our backup to Partey. And let's see. That's on the management who doesn't want to spend money. That's less on Arteta. But I don't think Arteta is ready. He's confident enough to make the decisions, the big tough decisions he needs to make in big games like this.
Yeah, I think today's game was a great example of Arteta has come some ways, but he's not there yet. So I'm somewhere in the middle, right? So unlike Kells, right? I actually left this game and I was just on Josh, pretty upset because I felt like we were set up to absorb what City could give us and then play on the counter, and we just don't have the personnel for it. And that's to me, it's like you're already setting yourself up for failure. So I would rather lose 3-2 trying and playing to our strengths than lose 1-0 where we just look completely out. We're completely outclassed, right? But that's
90 minutes
to me because we just don't as soon as you saw the lineup, you knew we were going to lose. To me, the best case scenario looking at the lineup was a draw. That was my best case scenario. You didn't look at the lineup today and said, Arsenal could take 3 points, right? That to me is a problem, right? But in saying that, it also takes a solid manager to understand that the season is a 38-game season, right? And you're not going to win every game. Sometimes you've got to take a few hits. This is the classic Mourinho, Fergie sort of philosophy, right? You're not going to win all 38 games, but let's make sure you don't lose them either, right?
Yeah.
And so Arteta kind of set up like that. We just don't have the personnel, I feel like if we had certain better players, we probably go 0-0 or 1-1, right? And over the course of the 38-game season, we look back on this game as a great draw, right? Because City isn't playing they're playing lights out right now.
Yeah.
Right? They are the best team in Europe right now, in my opinion. Right? It's not even close.
Just from how they're playing.
Exactly. City. Right
City.
now.
The best team in Europe?
Man City. Okay. You know what?
Right now.
City. I'd argue it. Bayern is the best team in Europe.
Top 2, top 3, maybe. They're
top
up there.
Top two. I'd say there's nobody. City and Bayern. I agree with that. City is the best team based on current form. I'm watching City games and and I hate Guardiola. I hate him very strongly. Between him and the devil, in my mind, right? But
don't forget about Jordi Alba, man.
Oh, and Jordi Alba as well, yeah. That's a different show. But so when I said the Arteta thing, it's one of those games where I was like, did I feel that we could have beat Man City? Anything is possible. I feel like he literally set us up to not lose, set us up primarily to not get embarrassed, even if we lost. But I feel like we were set up for a draw, right? And honestly, I really enjoyed that game, guys. I don't know. I mean, other than the hate for Pepe, I just like that we did not. We made City look average, which
exactly
I thought was impressive. Now, how that translates going forward, I don't know. And also, yeah, but that was the main thing on my part. So it's not like I think Arteta is making adjustments more so now. The bringing Odegaard in and having the guts to start him in a game like today, I thought was huge. And I think like the pieces were like last time we were on here, it was going off about the middle. There's no creativity down the middle, and he's just made so many changes. I was really happy to not see William today at all. That was amazing.
Man.
And so in that regard, yeah, I don't think that he's a finished product, but I like that he is just not being super stubborn. Like he's not doing the Mourinho thing where he's just like, I'm just gonna dig my heels in and be defensive. So that was the positive today. Also, I feel like if we had just one last point. I feel like
no. Sorry, keep going.
I feel like if we had like Partey today, it's a different. Like I feel like we would not have lost that game. We could have won because it's like it's the person who he's really good at taking the ball and literally what Jeff said, distributing it to the wings. He would just feed Pepe and Oba, right? And then we could actually go at City because for all their greatness, they're not a great defensive team. If they're like Barcelona like 4 or 5 years ago, if you just happen to attack them, you will score. The problem is, can you get there quickly enough?
And could you get the ball exactly? Could you hold the ball long enough to get there? And Jeff, and that's what I was trying to say in the group chat was, coming as a neutral fan, for someone like me, I watch United week in, week out. I've been watching Arsenal all season, and you guys actually play way better football. And today, I gotta give it to you guys. I think you guys had, because everyone, Lee Gunner, everyone in Arsenal fan TV were all saying, "Oh, we're gonna get battered. We're all gonna get battered." And we know City since November. They've been killing off teams by the first half. The game is done. It's just a matter of, second half is just literally practice. That's all it is. So for the fact that, the first goal, I feel that was just defensive error. That could happen to any team. And who would have thought that Sterling was going to score with a header? He's the shortest guy on the field. You know what I mean? So I feel like that goal was just kind of was unexpected. Amazing cross from Mahrez. But I think after that, Arsenal got their composure because most teams in the EPL would have just crumbled after that. That would have just been game over. Goals would just be coming in from different angles.
And to your point, Josh, we didn't crumble. That honestly was by far. I'm not gonna lie, man. I came in 3 minutes late to the game. I was making my mocha, guys. I need my mocha in the morning. And then I turned it on. It was 1-0, and I was like, "Oh, here we go again." And then two things happened. One, I didn't see David Luiz, and I was like, "Thank God," because it would have been a red card or an own goal or something. When he came, so you understand my feelings about David Luiz. I'm gonna move on. The other thing that I saw that I was applauding was Arteta had a plan for City's biggest scoring. For Sterling and De Bruyne. Xhaka, Martin, De Bruyne. The whole game.
Oh no, I think you're good now. Was it just me? I thought I was getting some feedback from you. It might have just been me.
Oh, sorry. You're good.
Okay, I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Okay. So he had a plan for Xhaka was marking De Bruyne, and then when De Bruyne was up, he was marking him. When Gundogan was up, he was marking him. Holding today was the best player in the whole back line. His distribution of the ball was mind-boggling. It was like seeing Ramos. Yes, I know that's a big applause, but it was absolutely. He was doing the things that we needed to see from Elneny and Xhaka. The other thing was Sterling was pinned on that left side. Every time Sterling got, and it was crazy because Bellerin was garbage today. But every single time Sterling got the ball,
Today.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
It's a different show. Okay.
And I think that's why we were able to absorb. We were able to absorb the pressure and the fact that we were down 1-0 in 75 seconds, and then actually being able to settle down and play the football that Arteta has been trying to get us to play, which is playing out from the back. And Eno did not do the nonsense that Ederson does when they're playing out of the back. Like today, great goalkeeper. But my goodness, this guy honestly thinks he is God's gift to the net. But anyways, I honestly think that Arteta had a plan. Ederson, yeah. I think Arteta had a plan for what thing was going to throw at him. But at the same time, Pep did what Pep always does. Over tinkers. I think Pep would rather be known as doing something that no other manager can do in history, rather than playing to win. It's crazy that you're not going to play with a forward. You had nobody making runs, and so a game was easier for Arsenal once we settled into it. Other than that, going forward, we were useless. Pepe shouldn't have played. Saka was free the moment he took off Pepe. It was insane. Like Saka became a completely different player. And honestly, I think Aubameyang should have played striker over Lacazette. But Pepe was, for me, the whole reason why Odegaard wasn't able to do anything, and Saka wasn't able to do anything. And thank God Tierney is back. I'm done.
Yeah.
I think you're on mute, Josh.
Sorry, guys. I was saying Tierney was good today. I actually did see why you guys said if he was playing against that game with against Manchester United, you guys would have won. I think he was a massive threat for City today.
Right, Tierney has been like our for me, between Tierney and Saka, lights out players of the season for Arsenal. They're just I will say this. So as you guys know, my watching of Arsenal took a serious nosedive, especially in the last year of Wenger and when that Spanish guy was our coach. These guys have actually rejuvenated my
Arteta?
Just watch.
Arteta's British, man. Arteta's British. What are you talking about?
Just watch. If Arsenal qualifies to the next round of Europa, you're meeting Villarreal for sure.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that. I would want to put a trashing on that Spanish waiter. But I will say though, the one good thing that did come out of Emery, sorry, Kels, for interrupting, is that Saka actually considers Emery to be the reason why he's getting to play. So Saka has gone out of the way to talk about, Emery gave him a shot, and it's Emery. So thank you, Emery, for that.
Yeah, Emery wasn't all bad. He did give a lot of the youth chances. I think Holden came in to fold under him. Or was that in Wenger's last year? Holden was very impressive today. His composure at the back line was, it was just very impressive. So there's a couple of good spots, and I think one thing that Arteta is doing, I think Emery tried to play out from the back, but we didn't have the right players. Holden was injured the entire time or whatever. But Arteta, the one thing I would say is that it's really both Joel, everybody has touched on it, really. Joel, Jeff, and Josh, is the adjustments. It's not when I feel like we don't always just do the same thing the entire time. We come out with a plan. If it's not working, what he started to do now is he tinkers with it, and then he's not afraid to make subs. Pepe should probably not have started. I would have probably started with the same lineup we started the last two games with, which is the 4-2-3-1, with the Odegaard, ESR, and Saka with Oba at the top. I honestly would have kept that same line. I do see that he was trying to use Pepe to exploit his pace, but the moment that wasn't working, I'd say you make that switch earlier, or even if he's going to bring in, if just take Pepe off, even if he's going to bring in Lacazette and move Oba to the left, just do that. But like the Pepe thing wasn't working. But I like the adjustments. I can see a path forward. We're not making top four in my opinion. I think we can make Europe though. But what I do like though is that I think there is like I can finally see a path forward. I see like a plan. I see a coach who is smart enough to tinker. Who is I really like the adjustments he made specifically for these players. It's like what Wenger used to do when we used to go back and forth with Barcelona way back. When we were like the only people who could take down Barcelona as well as that from Chelsea, at least keep it competitive. Where you would have like specific instructions for specific players, and I saw that today, and I hope it keeps going. To be honest, I hope he doesn't just go back to out wide and crossing it, because like that was that first 3 months of the year was very frustrating.
Yeah, and I think Saka has been key to us not having to do that. So Saka's ability to play around the box is like I'm sure Pep is looking like, damn, I wish I could have grabbed him, right? Because Saka is he does so well around the box. His confidence, his ability, his positioning, his awareness of where he is around the box and who's around him. I mean, every time it looks like he's gonna lose the ball, he gets fouled, right? And I love that about him.
I did message that. Yeah, I was like, for how many times this kid gets fouled in games, it's amazing. Just because he's not like the biggest dude. He's very small, and for the fact that shows his quality. That shows his quality, to be getting fouled like that.
That IQ, man.
So, yeah, the IQ, right? Yeah.
And I think real quickly, I think the fact that we couldn't get the ball out wide quickly enough, it gave City time to settle down. Because to your point, City does not have a great defense, but they had a plan. Fernandinho was actually playing as a fifth center back. You see, they played with 5 in the back when we tried to build up. And because Pep knows, right, they're playing really like 5 defenders, 4 or 5 midfielders. It's really what they were playing, to be honest. Now, surprised that Bernardo Silva didn't get subbed out, because he got that yellow pretty early in the second half. He wasn't really giving them much. And I honestly felt like, and Kels was like, who are you supporting? Because I was talking about what City needs to do to beat us. Because it was pretty obvious. Like, you had no runners, and it made the game very easy. Holding just had to worry about Sterling, which for me he did a phenomenal job. That one tackle, Sterling was like, "Isn't that not a penalty?" I'm like, bro. And then the other time when he slid past Gundogan, right, and then he just didn't no handball. If that was PK, it would have been a handball and a penalty, right? And so for me, the back line did well. Mari, I wasn't sold on him, but he settled in pretty quickly. But again, I think if we had played ESR early, and moved Aubameyang left, which I've not been a fan of, we would have been able to at least be able to play out and do something around the box against the 5 defenders. That Pep had that down pat. He was smart enough to realize he could not play without a striker and four in the back, because Zinchenko, that's why Pepe is garbage. How can you not beat Zinchenko? Pepe and Bellerin, how are you not able to handle Zinchenko on that right side? Blows my mind. Anyway, I'm gonna stop being mad about this guy.
Oh yeah, Joe, you can go on.
No, he's so mad he just left. No, listen. These guys have touched on how I feel, right? Like, I think Arteta got it right at the back. Outside of Holding having that one sort of miscue, right, where he left Sterling for the header, which it happens, right? He had a solid game. He was more a midfielder than Xhaka or El Neni, right? And he's got that ability in him, so it's really good to see him come through, right? But I think tactically, we made the mistake of playing Pepe, which forced Saka on the to play on the left, which didn't work. He's having a lot of success on the right. Yeah, Saka's come through over the last few months on the right, so we had to accommodate that. And you don't see it working. You pull Pepe out, right? I honestly thought Pepe would not play the second half at all. Sometimes you go back to your bread and butter, right? You bring in Lacazette a little earlier, you bring in ESR, you play that So that midfield with Odegaard, ESR on the flank, and then Saka, and then Lacazette if you want to, or even Aubameyang, right? But uh, to me, I mean, I feel like we could have done that at the start, and we could have attacked City more, but we didn't. Arteta did make the adjustments in the end, so that's at least impressive. Um, I don't think we're going to finish top four. I just don't think we have the quality in this, and I think the way Arteta wants to play, which we saw a lot of today, is build from the back, use the mid to go out to the flanks, right? And we just don't have that quality without Partey. So, if Partey is going to be out for an extended period of time, it's going to be really, really challenging for us. I think we finish in the top 10, but not, in the top 6 or the 7 to get into Europa, which is why we need to win the Europa to at least stay in the competition or at least get into the Champions League. But Arteta showed a lot of good things today, and I think he deserves to go into the summer and get some players in. But we also saw how reliant we are on having a solid midfield. And I mean, I told you guys this a few days ago, but somebody I work with was like, "Hey, is Partey going to be your next Diaby?" And that just broke me, right? Because you see the talent. Like this guy's like been injured 5 days previously coming to Arsenal, and like we barely seen him play for Arsenal right since he's come over. But let's hope he can figure things out. Like Tierney, work through some of those initial sort of hiccups, and he balls out for us. But I think Arsenal's success moving forward is reliant a lot on Partey being healthy.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like, where do you guys feel like in terms of as a team? When we talk about rebuilding, I know that's like the most popular thing, that a statement that every coach makes now is, "Oh, it's a project, it's a project, it's a project." I don't care about projects anymore. But what stage are you guys on? Do you feel like you need, what positions do you need to fill up to be able to get to that next level whereby you can get back into that top 6, top 4 competition? Because right now, I think you guys do have. I think Arteta is still new at the job, but at the same time, I can kind of see what he's trying to do. And I think even Pep said it today, after the game. He said Arteta knows everything. He said, "I'm not saying this because he's my friend or because he's coached under me. He's actually a good coach." So, and I see that when I watch Arsenal, and as an opposing fan, that says a lot, right? When you can watch a team and know what they're doing. Kind of like when I watched Chelsea before Tuchel, I was like, what is going on? Like, you're watching the game and it's just like these players are not really into it. There's no pattern of play. There's no system. But with Arsenal,
Chelsea
I can see it.
had the hexagon, Josh. They had the hexagon. I keep reminding everybody about this.
That's right.
I think like the Arteta thing. Sorry, Josh.
No. That was I was kind of rambling anyway. So
the Arteta thing, I think I don't know what happened, but I guess he got because I feel like he was trying to really play one type of way, and then at some point over the Christmas period, I think he probably just realized he was going to get fired if he didn't start winning games, and he started trying different things moving forward. There's what positions do I think we need to fill. So I was trying to say this new Arteta wave, I would say is relatively new, and I am loving it because again, like I said last time I was on here, I was fully campaigning to get him fired. I was about to start the hashtag on Twitter if it's not already out there. I think we need a right back for sure because Bellerin is just not the same. That knee is just not the same. I think we need whatever position Pepe is trying to play, like Pepe and William, those two, whatever position, those two just need to go, and we need another winger to come in, somebody who can play either on the left or right, interchangeable, but keep Saka on his preferred wing.
I hear Ziyech is looking to leave Chelsea.
That would be epic. I think it's Milan is all over him though. Milan's just all over everybody. Anyhow,
yeah.
I think we need another. I don't know if we can if we can re-sign Odegaard for another 1 year loan, I think would be cool. And then I think we need another holding. We need another Partey. Like we need if Partey is gonna be, I don't know if just eating full blown Kente now that he's in England and he's seeing Ghanaians all over the place, that he's just injured all the time. It makes no sense. But we need like another. We need somebody who can like receive the ball and distribute it. Bellerin, though, I'd say the most urgent is like right back and like left flank. I think those are the most urgent. And then, like I said, it just needs to be the backup for Oba as a striker. And we have a full team. All of this Oba playing on the left, like he can do it, but his best position is clearly down the middle. That's just playing.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the last time I was on, I said the exact same thing, right? I said we need somebody that can play alongside Partey. Now, since then, Xhaka has shown that he can actually play pretty good next to someone like Partey because he's got somebody a little bit more disciplined, and Xhaka doesn't need to like carry the ball. He doesn't have that responsibility anymore, right? So he's a bit more comfortable sitting back. But I would still prefer somebody next to Partey, and I think a winger is like as I said the last time too, is extremely important. Someone like Zaha would be perfect in this team, although his stats haven't shown it this year, and age could become a problem too, right? But in recent weeks, I agree with Kel's 100%. The right back position has become such a position of need for us, right? Like Bellerin, like I said, is just a right back Theo. Pace with no brain. Sometimes on instinct he'll get it right, but it's not there. And after injury, the pace is gone too.
Theo.
Theo Walcott.
Oh, I think you meant Theo, like in AC Milan, the left.
Oh,
no.
What are you talking about? Okay.
I was thinking Theo like the
Theo Walcott.
Leo.
Yeah. So and I mean, like, it's you can always tell how bad a position is when a half decent player plays that position and actually looks pretty good. So if you look at Cedric, for instance, Cedric is pretty average, but he's looked like a world beater in that position for Arsenal sometimes, right? And that's just, it goes to show you how poor Bellerin has done in that role, right? So I think if we can sort out the right back, like I think our spine is in good shape. I would really love to have a midfielder next to Partey. If we can get somebody that can be a bit more, more pivot, so that Partey can be more box to box. I'd love if we could re-sign Odegaard for like another season loan. Maybe that's possible. But a winger to play, like, I think maybe Pepe's time's done. I hate to say it. It's I
You
don't know
love
if we're
saying
gonna
it. Don't
recoup.
lie.
It's it's tough because he's a young player, right? And it takes time for like, it's not just that he's a young player, but you can tell that he's a young confidence player, right? Like when he's playing with confidence, he plays, like, you'll have some really great games from him, right? And in fairness to Pepe, what service is he getting, right? Like he got nothing today, right? Like when you've got somebody that's been set up to play on the counter, and the stats showed that he had maybe 3 passes played his way all game. Like that's shockingly bad, right? Like you're not using your best weapon, right? Or at least your best weapon for today. So in that sense, I think that's why I feel like somebody like Saka or even Zaha, right, fit this Arsenal team better, because they're the type of wingers that come and collect the ball. They can play down the middle. They can move out wide. They're not necessarily great crossers, but they can play more inverted, which is kind of the way this Arsenal team's set up. But I mean, yeah, I think need a running back, need a center mid, and we need a winger. And if we can re-sign Odegaard for a season loan, I think this team's set. And I think Arteta, the way he wants to play, like, this team is probably set. Like, we make a real move next season. Not title contenders, but definitely top 4 contenders.
Yeah. And that's really the thing that's difficult, because I find it's hard for some of these players, because when they're so young, having to come into the likes of Arsenal, United, and have to be, the main guy, because that's what Pepe was coming to do, like to spend over 70 mil on him. He was definitely coming to be not necessarily the main guy, but obviously Oba is the main guy, but he was supposed to be one of the guys to take Arsenal to the next level. So I find that puts a lot of pressure on a lot of these players, and it's a whole different ball game for them too. But I don't know, like maybe I haven't watched Pepe too much in his game. I know a lot of times when he's playing, it's never going well for Arsenal. So maybe that's probably why I I can't really analyze his game that much. But yeah, like honestly, I think you guys are on the right track, man. Do you feel like maybe not being in Europe next year would serve you guys better? So that way you can kind of just focus on the league, and the board doesn't get the money from Europe that they seem to keep getting, to keep them afloat.
I don't. I no. I don't subscribe to the school of thought that like not being on a bigger stage means that you can kill it on the smaller stage. I don't really. I think if you're gonna try to be a big, if you're gonna be a bear, you might as well try to be a grizzly. So
No, I'm
I
just sorry.
don't.
I just meant in the sense of like, because Arsenal is a young and small squad, right? When you have to play Thursday night and then literally turn around and play the Saturday or Sunday, that could be a challenge for a team like Arsenal right now. But sorry, you
Yeah,
can
no,
go ahead.
I don't think we are. I don't think it's a small squad. I think we have a big enough squad to be able to uh, play twice a week,
And do both.
3 times a week. I am particularly want us to be in some version of Europe because of the financial implications, because that basically just means that we can afford the caliber of player, one, afford them, and two, attract them. Now, uh, I do. I just want to touch on one thing about Pepe. So, what's interesting about Pepe is the Man United game. I believe it was Man United game where I was. He was my positive from that game, right? Because it was his decision making was his movement was. He seemed like he was listening to the. It seemed like he had been learning from Saka for like a couple of weeks, and then like today was kind of different. So with him, I think the patience is just running out because he's just not consistent enough. But in terms of your original question of where like do I like what direction is the future going in the Champions League or Europe versus that? I don't think not being in Europe. I think not being in Europe will hurt us because I think you don't want to start competing with like Tottenham and Everton type of players and those types of things. I think if you're going to try to attract quality, you need to be. We need that European presence. That's my opinion of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just to answer your question, um, for sure, right back. First thing, right back. After that, it's probably gonna have to be left mid because Aubameyang can't play there. Saka's fine on the right. He can play on the right. I don't think we need somebody on the right. I think it's and then that way Pepe knows he's coming off the bench and he can get back to his form. That left mid, I think there's a lot more left mid in the game right now that we can grab that is young and talented versus the right. The right is very. I think we're fine on the right, other than the right back. And then again, like a pivot, like everybody said. The other thing, to be honest, even before the pivot, I think it's somebody to get rid of David Luiz. Holden needs somebody he can rely on. If we shore up the right back and the center back situation, we would be able to compete with the likes of Man United and Leicester City for top four. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just looking at the EPL right
Jeff,
now. I'm
I
like Leicester
totally
City,
agree with you,
Everton.
man. I totally agree. I totally agree because what I see from Arsenal, it's like it's a weird thing because it's like what I see from Arsenal, it's like your results are not matching. Like even when you guys drop points to like Crystal Palace, it's like really though, you know. And then we look
He
at a
just
team
needed
like
to do
Manchester
this
United.
from the start
Sorry.
of the season, Josh.
Oh yeah,
Arteta he needed to just have. If we started the season, if Arteta started the season the way he started this year, honestly,
yeah,
I think it would have been like top 6
Agreed.
easily. Easily. Sorry,
Yeah.
I keep cutting you off, Josh. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Yeah, sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that Josh. I keep
No.
cutting you off.
Okay, so yeah, all I was just trying to say was because I look at United and the results are not matching the performances whatsoever, right? So that was kind of my thing is it's like it's like lopsided in a way whereby it's like the teams who are actually playing good football can't seem to get the results that they deserve, and the teams that are not playing good football are just seeming to be scoring goals, from out of nowhere. But anyways, that was kind of my thing. So yeah, I think
Would
you
you
guys
rather
are in the
have?
conversation
Would
to
you
be top
rather have?
six.
Would you rather have the beautiful football without the results, or the results without the beautiful football?
It's a hard one because
That's a
halfway
Barcelona
through
question,
season
fam.
I was okay with it, but I'm at the point now where it's kind of like, should I just start watching highlights and just call it a day because it's a waste of 90 minutes now because it's just like we do nothing for 90 minutes and then someone just pops up and gets a goal. So it's like maybe I could have just watched the highlights and gotten the exact same because I don't get anything. There's no feedback from the game. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing to say, oh, this person did something right. This person did something. This is what somebody could work on better. I get absolutely nothing. No feedback from the game. It's just somebody scored the goal. So it's a
I give you
hard
some
one.
feedback from the Man U game. You guys have to get rid of Fred. Fred needs to go.
Oh wow.
What's his name? The
Ole needs to go.
I
Only number
don't
one
care
needs to
about
go.
Ole. That's
I don't
Josh.
agree with that at all.
Ole is Josh's homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said,
Martial
it's your homeboy.
see him shrink or something. He's too, his body language is too negative, man. It's like I would not want to play with that guy.
No, I think Martial. I will continue to defend Martial
Wow.
because I think it's a combination of his body language doesn't. It's kind of like with the same thing with Pogba's body language wasn't good. There's been so many players that have come through that Özil's body language wasn't good either. I think sometimes it's their body language, and when they're not producing the goods, everyone focuses on those little things that make it seem that makes it even hyped up a bit more. But I don't know. For me, I think Marcel is having a hard time, but I feel that our system is broken, and I feel there's only two players that are thriving right now: Rashford and Bruno. That's it.
Josh, can I ask you, when's the last time Martial scored?
I think it was the Southampton game.
He
Right.
doesn't get a pass and he just like stops running. It's not
Did
the same as Özil. Özil looked like he wasn't into the game, but if you look at the stats, this guy covered the most distance, or he was like top 3 Arsenal players whenever he played covering. He
But
just
they
looked
showed
like he was
okay.
doing a lot.
Somebody
pass
actually
accuracy? He was up there. Yep.
Yeah, pass accuracy was crazy. Chances created, he led Europe for like 5 years consecutively when he was a
yeah.
starter. He just didn't look it. Martial, like he'll like make a run. You don't make a pass to him one time. The next time he's not running. Like he's just not
Yeah.
running. Like he's super
I think
gifted.
he's. I think
Very
even today when he came out today, I don't know. People are saying he might leave if Ole is still in charge because he's suffering right now, and and even the way like the smirk he gave Ole today, because Ole was saying, "Oh, you should run more," and it's like, really,
What
like
does he
nobody's
want?
passing you the
What
ball.
does he want? He wanted to play on the wide. He wanted to play wide. They played him wide. Wanted to play striker. They played him striker. Like what? Why is he not running? He's a striker. He's gonna run.
No, but he
That's what
runs. No, but the
strikers
stats
do.
show that he's running though. Somebody actually, Statman Baines brought the stat out. It's actually false. Like he actually runs. The problem is, like today, people were asking why is he playing center mid. It's because he's trying to get on the ball. And that's the problem. Like Cavani plays 90 minutes, touches the ball like twice the entire game. Rashford gets the ball like the most among all our strikers, which is nothing wrong with that. But it's Rashford when he's meant to pass, he doesn't pass. He's always trying to bulldoze his way through 6 defenders. And then I do get with Rashford because Rashford is like, I don't know when next I'm going to get this ball, so I might as well do something with it. So I'm
What is
not going to blame Rashford for
to
that.
get the ball that Martial can't do? Cavani is a
Sure.
different type of striker, right? Cavani is not gonna. Is not asking for the ball. Cavani is more like Giroud mode. He wants you to play the ball so he can just finish. That's what Cavani
One
wants.
time.
But But everyone started blaming. But everyone started saying, "Why is Cavani going so deep?" So if all our strikers have to go so deep, then it means that there is an underlying issue.
My question though is, what is Rashford doing that Martial can't do? Because to me, they're like the same player. They're the same skill set. If anything, Martial, in my opinion, is a bit more gifted naturally than Rashford. Rashford, I think, is a better finisher, like, is a better striker of the ball. But like, how is Rashford getting so many touches and Martial isn't? That's what I don't like. There's not. I don't get that. I don't get why Rashford is thriving and Martial isn't. When to me, like, they should.
But Rashford is not really. He's not even thriving as much. Yeah, he's scoring goals, but he misses about 7 of those chances first before he finally scores that one.
On the ball, like, why is Martial? Why is it so difficult for the players to find him? Meanwhile, they can find Rashford all the time. Like, you see what I'm saying? Is it his movement off the ball? Is it like, what is he?
Because because he's told to play number 9, right? So like today, he was told to play number 9. But anyone who plays number 9 just gets taken out of the game. That's the issue. Like when Cavani is playing number 9, Cavani gets taken out. Martial's doing more legwork.
When Rashford plays number 9,
when Rashford is playing on the wing too, yeah, he gets more of the ball. Same with Martial. Martial gets way more of the ball when he's playing wing. But the issue is he's not finishing, but he's only getting like 1 chance a game. So I understand people can say, I just feel like it's kind of like the same thing with Bruno. Why is Bruno always the one that seems to somebody swings their leg into the box? Bruno is the one that's magic happens to be there. I'm not saying that they're not trying hard. Maybe they're trying harder. I don't know. I just personally feel the system is completely broken. And then there's only 2 guys that seem to just keep popping up, Bruno and Rashford, which is not taken away from their game. I think they've done amazing for Manchester United this season. But I will keep going back to the system is broken, because there's no reason why we should only have 2 players just thriving every game. It just makes no sense.
Josh, so you think the same question you asked us? What do you think United needs to do in the summer? You think it's the coach change, or you think it's players changing? And if it's players, what's the positions?
Yeah, sorry guys, not to make this. Honestly, right now, let's say because of COVID, we don't have much money. I think a coach is a must. I think a coach is actually our main priority right now, because there's nothing I can see. There's nothing we're doing. Ole keeps saying we're practicing how to defend corners, set pieces every week, but we keep making the exact same mistake every week. So I think we need a coach, and we also need a more reliable center back that can help either Maguire or Lindelof, because Bailly, we can't rely on him. But when Bailly is fit, he doesn't play Bailly. And that's the part that is just frustrating, because it's like,
Bailly plays.
Sorry?
I watched like the Europa game. He was really bad. I mean, maybe he's just coming back from injury.
But he just came back from injury. But the issue is Ole only plays people, like, apart from the Brunos, the Rashfords, same with Van der Beek. It's hard for them to get in when they're only getting cameos every 20 minutes. Get 20-minute cameos in like 7 games. So how are they supposed to actually get into the groove? Like, a professional player needs at least 4 90-minute games to get their rhythm going. But you just throw in Van der Beek on 5 minutes at the end of the game, then the next 10 games we don't see him. How is he supposed to get to that level? And even that Real Sociedad game, look at the saves that he made. Maguire and Lindelof are not getting into those spaces and making those kind of saves. And that's the frustrating part with Ole.
That he caused also. I agree with you though. So apart from center back, any other positions would you need?
I would go for. I think we need a right winger. We need a right winger. The center forward. I know everyone keeps saying that we need a center forward, but any center forward that comes into this club right now will struggle, because we just don't look at Newcastle. Newcastle is the bottom of the league, and they bossed us around today. Like, that result.
You won 3-1. You won
No,
3-1.
but that result was not. But that result was not a reflection of the game, though.
Second in the league. You won 3-1. I would take. I would swap. I would. So back to the question there, and to take it off, it was like, would you rather take a good playing style versus with mediocre results versus great results with a mediocre playing style?
Always the latter. Always the latter.
I'll take the results, man. I'll take the results.
Yeah, and I'm not saying
I'm not saying that Ole is amazing.
I'm not saying that, and that's what I'm not saying that. Yeah, I'm not saying Ole hasn't done a great job, but at some point, but that's the same thing with Arsenal, right? We're going down the same rabbit hole that Arsenal went down in the last 10 years, whereby we're still making Champions League, so it's cool. But the reality is, there's a reason why we're always gonna crumble when we face a decent opponent. We crumble in the UEFA Champions League. They try to play this nonsense tactics. We got found out. Yeah, it can only go once in the FA Cup, in the League Cup. That's what I'm saying is, yeah, it's all great that we're beating all these teams in the bottom of the league, but when it matters, watch us in the Europa League. We're gonna face Villarreal, and we're just gonna crumble. We're gonna go in the who do we face next?
You're gonna face Arsenal, and you're gonna crumble. That's hopefully.
Exactly, we'll probably face Arsenal and crumble. Exactly, because when it matters, we crumble because it's not sustainable. The result. I'm not saying that Ole hasn't done a great job, and now I'm at the point whereby I feel we have a good team. Yeah, I know, Jeff. I know you're gonna say that we don't have the best bench or whatever, but I think the team that we do have, if you brought a coach that can actually create systems, players know their role, I think we'll get a better Manchester United than what we have right now. And I think Ole too is also riding a lot of luck. COVID hit, teams were always relying on teams to drop points. Last season, if Chelsea and Leicester City did not bottle it, we probably would have made Europa League last year. If the COVID didn't happen, this season, why are we second in the season? Because Liverpool botched it, City botched it for half the season.
Okay, can we take a minute to celebrate Liverpool's
all steroids?
Yeah.
All of steroids.
Liverpool.
They ran out of the steroids, I guess, right? The juice.
Yeah, but you get my ramble though. You get my ramble is we're not second because Ole was this masterclass guy. It's because individuals have built him out. If it wasn't Bruno, if it wasn't Rashford, if it wasn't Pogba, if it wasn't, people have built him out.
If it wasn't VAR,
VAR has also built him out too.
Listen, I always like to complain about refs because I'm an Arsenal fan, but it's never the right approach when you see a team win, right? But I do think United needs a coach, and I do think United really badly messed up by not getting Pochettino. Pochettino was available.
100% agree.
I understand Ole is a legend, but you know what? Lampard's a legend too, and they got rid of him, and they went down and got the best coach that they could find, right? So this was United. Like, we all knew Pochettino's dream job was United. Like, it's like an open secret, right? Like, he came to England because he wanted to manage United, and he started at Southampton, and then Spurs was like the next stepping stone, and then United is the dream job, right?
Well, United and Madrid. Let's not forget.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's Pochettino. Like, the open secret with Pochettino was always that he wanted to coach United, right? And that was this was like a slam dunk. United should have got this guy, right? And I think it's true. United has a lot of brilliant pieces, and they're being bailed out by some absolute individual talent, right? A winger is probably going to go a long way. I know a great winger. His name's Pepe.
You can get it cheap.
And you know what? Like, as much as everybody is just shit on this guy, I think Martial at Arsenal, I would take a chance on that guy.
Oh yeah, I take a chance on that. I'm not gonna lie, I would.
Let's do it.
Because
forget Alexis and Mkhitaryan. Like, that was a terrible swap. Pepe for Martial. Let's do it.
Oh man. I take that.
Um,
I take that.
and to be fair, just back on Martial real quick. To be fair, Martial got screwed like 4 years in a row, right? Van Gaal brings him in, and then he's like, okay, you're gonna be the main striker, and then all of a sudden, oh no, you're not good enough. I'm gonna bring in Depay, and then Mourinho. Yeah, I'm gonna bring in Ibrahimovic just to back you up. Oh, actually, Ibrahimovic is gonna start. Mourinho leaves. Okay, now you're going to take the number 9 shirt again. Oh, but I'm going to bring Cavani as a backup. Oh, now Cavani's starting, right? He got the raw end of the stick a few too many times. I'm definitely game with Martial on Arsenal. Real quickly, Josh, real quickly on the Ole thing.
Yeah.
Real quick on the Ole thing and COVID. You say COVID benefited Ole. It also really screwed him a lot. I'm not driving, guys. One thing that screwed Ole about COVID was Holland. If it wasn't for COVID,
Haaland knew.
Hold on, let me finish.
Haaland was like promoter. Haaland was like, I ain't no.
If you guys got Haaland,
nah.
If you guys got
Haaland,
if you got Haaland, right now, Josh, would be singing a completely different tune, fam.
Haaland will struggle on this team. I can guarantee that. Haaland will struggle on this team as well.
Yo, are you crazy?
But
maybe Haaland might be fine.
Okay, Haaland.
If you guys got Haaland, you probably would be competing for the league. Hey?
Okay.
If
Haaland, let's say Haaland will be successful at Manchester United, but I'm sure as him as a player, he looked and just said, you know what? No, it's not the coach that is going to develop me because
it was your front office. This is a documented thing. Your front office messed up that transfer.
Yeah, exactly.
It was not. It was. He wanted.
Coach Haaland.
They're both Norwegian. Sorry, go ahead.
I hate saying this as an Arsenal fan, right? Like it kills me to say this, but if you ask any player, whether young player, exciting player coming up, if they want to play in England, United is the team they want to play for. Now, over the last few years, sort of City has kind of come up because people want to play for Pep. Liverpool over the last couple of seasons have come up because they've got Jurgen Klopp and all. But even in the Arsene Wenger days, like let's be fair. United has always been the team that players want to come to. We talk about how Arsenal kind of got Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, but I don't think Haaland would have. No, I don't think so because I do understand. Yeah, as a club, the name is big, but as a professional football player that is already at the height as Haaland is, when he can go to Real Madrid, Barca. I don't care that Real Madrid is rebuilding, Barca is rebuilding. Those are still top clubs. You can walk into any of those clubs. Why would you pick Manchester United that is no guarantee if you can even make top 4?
No, we're not talking about now. I'm not talking about now. We're talking about at the Haaland could not
I'm saying that
into Real Madrid or Barcelona before he went into Dortmund. And if the choices was Dortmund or United was actually a front runner from at least from the reports that I read through. Because I honestly didn't even. I was like, what is this Haaland guy and why is this guy chasing him so hard? Until Dortmund signed him and then I actually watched him a couple of games. I'm like, this guy is a freak. Like he is next level. But at the time though, he did want to go to United. It was just your front office was playing weird. It's like the same thing they did with. Remember, we were talking about this a while ago. I'm like, why is it taking your front office so long to sign this? If you want a player, just put the money. You're Man United. It's like money. You're one of the richest clubs in the world, anyways, all the time. Yeah. Just put the money out. You spent how much? Like 80 mil on Di Maria. You couldn't find 70 mil for Haaland.
Kels, remember the owners are bankers. Who do you work for? You work for a bank, so I'm sure you understand how bankers think.
But they're throwing out money on trash. Sorry, go ahead.
So if Dortmund, and I apologize to any Bundesliga fans here. I watch a lot of Bundesliga, but if Dortmund won the treble and United finished in the top 4, and if you ask the player who they want to sign for, they're saying United in my opinion, right? Like even if Dortmund won the treble.
But not United as of now. But if United is struggling to make Champions League every season, there's no way Haaland is going to sit there and say, I'm okay to play Europa. I'm okay to
Dortmund is
say.
not in top 4 right now in Germany. Eh? They're not.
Right.
They're not.
They're not.
They're like
Right.
they're struggling in the Bundesliga.
So
Like, it's
that's
not-
what I'm saying. He will go to Real Madrid or somewhere whereby he's guaranteed that. Because in Real
Haaland is
Madrid, no
not
matter how
coming- he's
bad
not
Real
coming-
Madrid or Barca
Haaland
are
is not
doing,
coming to United now. He's not coming to United from Dortmund. I'm talking about from his
When he was available.
when he was
or
in
like
Austria
from yeah,
or whatever. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about like if you guys had gotten him when you were supposed to get him, which was your front office that screwed it up, and not Ole, because Ole was the one who found him. I say
Yeah.
that's different. If you add Haaland to this team, it doesn't even matter who you're playing where. Like you are, Man City is terrified of you guys at that point, in my opinion.
You know what? Something has to be said about the way American owners are going about things because, you know, you just mentioned how the Glazers are bankers, right? I think we lost everybody.
Just us. It's just us.
Just two of us, man. How's it going, buddy?
Long time. Nice to see you.
Yeah, are you still in New York or?
Yeah, that's a whole story. I'll message you on the side. Anyhow, please continue about.
No, man. Like the Glazers, right? We talk about like American owners. You know, Kroenke being American owner, but he spent a lot in the U.S. Let's not forget the Glazers just won the Super Bowl with the Buccaneers, and the Glazers spent a lot of money putting that team together. You got Brady in, you got Gronk back from retirement. Like they paid a lot of money. That Buccaneers team, for any of you that watch the NFL, was one of the most expensive teams put together in the NFL this season, in a COVID year, by the way, right? And they're expecting to spend more just to kind of keep some of the core of that team together. So I don't prescribe to this notion, right, that the Glazers don't spend. There's something wrong there. And, you know, it's the same thing with Arsenal. We have the same situation, right? We've got an American owner who spends a lot of money in the States for his American teams, but, you know, you don't see that sort of transpire as much with Arsenal. But I don't know, man. United still has pull. Even if they're just, you know, they're not winning as much, they're still in the top 4. I think United is still the top job for any manager that wants to succeed in England. And I think, you know, they're still the top team, like even irrespective of whether they won or not. You know, so
they are the biggest global brand in England, is what I would say.
I think
like they are. Sorry,
they are the second biggest team in the world after Madrid.
Yeah, it's like all they need to do is win another EPL, and like immediately, like Ronaldo's like, I'm coming back, or Messi, like it's ridiculous. This is like, as an Arsenal fan, which we all are on here except for you, Josh. We're enjoying this moment, but it's very irritating that even with your garbage coach and your like subpar playing style, like you're still second in the league and are still able to attract you guys you spent what 80 mil on Maguire? Like you're not even in. You're just throwing money out left, right, center. Like, I'm like, so
but that's the problem is that they spend one big paycheck, and I guess the recruitment is just awful. The recruitment.
I don't. It's like your front office. I think was the biggest problem for a while. Yeah.
You fix the manager and you solve so many problems.
Many problems.
Yeah, I mean Van Gaal, come on. And then
before
Mourinho,
Van Gaal, and then Moyes.
Come on, that's not even Fellaini, man. The move.
I don't know. I think Moyes was just more of like he was just there to like. I don't even know why they. I think Moyes might have been okay, but I think he would have done a better job than Ole. I just felt like.
No,
what are you
talking about?
You really don't like Ole.
It's just really bad. I think the time he came,
Moyes got fired 7 months in. You guys were bottom half of the table.
I'm not saying that he should be coached. Definitely not. But you also have to remember, Moyes took over an aging team. That team was already.
He took over a team that just won the league.
No,
they won the league, and then the next season they finished 16th. Was already
collapsing. Like Alex Ferguson did some magic.
Come on, man.
Mourinho said he finished second with that United team. It was a miracle. That was the same way Ferguson finished that season. That was a miracle.
I can't follow you all the way there. No, you can't take over a team that wins the league this season and the next season the bottom half.
Like relegation.
The only thing that changed was the manager. That's it.
Well, look at Liverpool.
Everybody's
right
just
now.
1 year older.
Just
1 year older.
Look at Liverpool.
Liverpool has
Yeah,
way
but
too many injuries, man. Don't even
Liverpool
start.
has like literally 7 starters injured. Like
The whole back line is injured.
And Liverpool
except for the
went
fullback.
2 seasons of nearly winning the league,
yeah.
Champions League finalists, then won the league, then won the Champions League, right? So it's like this is like 3 to 4 seasons of sustained excellence. Like even when they lost the league by 1 point, if they had won the league, it's like, you know, you had like 2 teams that would be the greatest ever in history in England, right? That finished first and second, right? So Liverpool, I think they're just burnt out, right? I mean, like you run out of steroids in the COVID season too, right? You can't ship them over as well. You know, Jurgen Klopp's going through some personal things as people say. I think it's just a season where too much has happened, and you're almost like you're changing your whole game plan with Thiago, right? Who, by the way, would have been perfect for Arsenal.
Perfect for Arsenal.
Yeah,
or
he
United.
went for Thiago
Or
instead of
United.
Willian.
Yeah, Thiago would have been.
Or United.
Thiago is just he's a phenomenal player, but he just doesn't fit that style of play that Liverpool plays, unfortunately, right? But it's like, yeah, like I would not compare Moyes' downfall with what Liverpool's going through right now. I think Moyes is a very.
I was just reaching right. I was reaching.
That was a rivalry.
I agree that that was a rivalry.
I was trying to give Moyes the benefit of a doubt there, but
no. I would say
you know what it is. I think for me, I'm just so fed up. I think I've watched Ole for 2 years now, and there's nothing to his game. And I think where it's kind of like, where it's like that person that is not good, but everything just keeps happening to that person.
Wenger.
Like,
his name was Wenger. As you pointed out.
You're preaching to the choir.
Well,
We've lived through this,
did something though. At least Wenger built Arsenal what it is today, right?
I don't know.
He brought Arsenal where it was, and then he also destroyed them to where we are now.
And I think that's where, that's what it is, man.
You nailed it.
That's where Ole is now. Is at the point whereby he's done his job where it was to steady the ship, get everybody in the right position, get us in an attractive spot. Now we're an attractive club again. Because under Mourinho, we were not attractive at all. Destroyed. So I think he's done his job. But if you keep him longer past the season, he's now going to be doing the reverse. He's now going to undo everything that he's done this far.
So what you're describing in his one season is basically what Arsenal fans have lived through the entire reign of Arsenal.
What, a decade?
Like 20 years.
It's like if you take the Bible, you've got the Old Testament and then you've got the New Testament, right? With Arsenal, we start with the New Testament and everything worked out, and then we went to the New Testament, the Old Testament, the Everton Stadium, right? Sunday, so I wanted to give you
analogy, man.
Some church.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, we've lived through this, right? So just the manager. So you guys have such talented players. Don't waste it on a terrible manager, right? Like you get a proper manager
every day.
And Pochettino was right there.
And I was like, wow,
Pochettino,
this team.
Not picking up Pochettino was wild. It was wild.
I agree, but I'm telling you, Nagelsmann, he is what you guys need. He will coach the crap.
He's not going to leave.
He's a huge Bayern fan. Like he lives for Bayern. Nagelsmann is a Bayern man through and through.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, so he was literally unemployed. Like he was literally just waiting in the wings.
He came through like his youth clubs and whatever, and he was ready to play for Bayern. Had a huge injury. And then that kind of ruined his playing career. That's why he's such a young coach, because he kind of got into coaching, right? But his dream has always been to play for Bayern, captain Bayern, and manage Bayern. So he couldn't do the first two things.
But
he will do the third thing.
He's not going to get to Bayern the way they're playing right now. Until Bayern changes their guard, you can have him for, I guarantee you, 3 to 4 years. And like I said,
is he available?
Yeah, he's still at Leipzig. 2020.
Is that available?
Yeah,
it all depends.
But in fairness, if United comes knocking, you make yourself available.
Kels is getting ready. Kels is getting ready for Zidane to
leave
do his early retirement,
bro. Leave Poch alone. Like Madrid needs him.
But I'm dead serious. Nagelsmann is what you guys need. He will coach your young team, your young players, and you'll do what you need him to do. He'll create a system. And the thing he has that Tuchel doesn't have, he does the ability to understand that I shouldn't be embarrassing my own players. He understands
Tuchel
that.
just has a massive chip on his shoulder. What's Tuchel's story like? Why does he like to confront superstars? That's really
Tuchel, who Nagelsmann actually apprenticed under. Nagelsmann said Tuchel, he's a great coach. He has tactics out of the wazoo, and he has a system, and he's a very good coacher of players. And he is a football aficionado. What he lacks is that inability, because he didn't play long enough. He had that knee injury early in his career, and then he was out in I think it was 24 or 25. He doesn't have the ability to understand that football is very different than league Champions League football. Like you can coach players in terms of football, but to actually the business of football is very different than the playing of football. He understands the playing of football. He doesn't understand the business of football. That's why he failed at Dortmund, and the management wanted him out. How are you, Dortmund? If Dortmund's management wants you out when you're winning and developing players and you're doing it on a low budget, the problem is your ability to manage players and your ability. He's like Conte when it comes to management, but he doesn't have the ability to bring the players with him. At least Conte, the players love him. All of Conte's players love him. Not one player comes out and says, "Oh, Conte was garbage." The management comes out and says, "Conte is not what we want," and Conte doesn't know how to talk to us. The Tuchel, and yes, I really do not like him because at Dortmund, what he did in Dortmund and how he left, and what he claims to have done in PSG, which I think was nothing. He doesn't have the ability to understand the football, and I think Chelsea is the worst team for him because we all know how Abramovich works, right? So for me, I think you have that. Poch is gone, let it go. But you have something in 2021. So work. Look at your summer because I agree with you. I think you have the players that you need for the future. Get rid of. You can't get a Maguire. Get somebody to back him up. You have no problems in your fullbacks. You have no problems in your midfield. You have no problem in the strikers. So I'm gonna stop talking because there's a lot of talk of me stopping talking.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you guys have anything to add to that?
I'm just gonna ask a random quick question. Who do you top rank 1 to 4 end of the league? What do you guys think? How do you think that's happening?
Oh wow, yeah. I think what it is. I think City number one.
Wait, so okay.
So City obviously number one. City's gonna win the league. United is gonna come second. I think Liverpool will end up being fifth. But 3 and 4 to me is a toss up between Everton and Leicester City. Unless Vardy gets injured, Leicester City will stay in top 5. And Everton for me, I think is really, they've had injury issues as well. Losing Calvert-Lewin was a big blow coming up against City on midweek. And so that's why I think it's going to be. I think it's City's to lose. They're going to blow it away. But I still think Liverpool, around March, they're going to get all the players back that they need to get back, and then they're definitely not going to win Champions League, so they need to make top 5, and Klopp will.
I think City runs away with the league. They're already running away with the league. I think United more than likely finishes second. I think they have enough quality in them, even with whether you like Ole or not. I think third and fourth will come down to, in my opinion, Leicester, Chelsea, and I do think Liverpool's going to make a nice late push towards the end. I think there's just too much quality in that team, and Jurgen Klopp's like one of the premier managers. I think he'll figure it out. So they'll make a late push, which will make things interesting. And I think Tuchel as well is going to make a late push with that Chelsea team. The only reason why I say it's going to come down to them and Leicester is because Leicester already has a good, nice points advantage over them. And Brendan Rodgers has got a good thing going with that team too. So I think it'll come down to the 3 of them for third and fourth. And yeah, I really hope Arsenal finishes top 8. I don't see it personally. There's just too much sort of parity in the first, like, between fifth place to 10th place. Like any team could be fifth or 10th. It's like a really weird league. Now, I will say though, it doesn't mean that these teams are good. I think in this post-COVID sort of season, certain teams are kind of punching above their weight. I think Aston Villa, West Ham, are really punching above their weight, which is great to see. I think Wolves are punching above their weight too.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that they deserve to be ranked higher than Arsenal per se. I know that's biased, but I do think Everton's a really good team that doesn't have depth, but they have a fantastic manager, so they will be in the mix for top six. I think if Arsenal can finish sixth or seventh, that would be amazing, but I just don't see it happening.
You think Tottenham will finish under Arsenal?
At this rate, yeah.
It's tough.
That's the bet.
You know what? If they don't, but if we beat them in Europa, if that works out, I'll take that. I'll take beating them in Europa if Spurs gets there and I was making it to whatever, as opposed to finishing above them in the league.
That's fair. What about you, Kel?
I think Man City wins. Obviously, I think United comes in second place. Literally, not because Ole is great, but just because he's the best. Like Man United is just the best of the rest of the bunch, I guess. And again, like the points thing, I do not think Liverpool makes Champions League. I think they get knocked out of Champions League, and they do not make top four in England. I think Chelsea comes in third, Leicester comes in fourth, and I am positive Arsenal will finish above Tottenham. I don't know about Europa because Mourinho is a tournament freak, but in the league, I'm pretty positive. I don't see where Tottenham. I think their best is beyond them, and they're only going downwards. Whereas Arsenal, I feel like we're on the come up, and they are headed downwards. But in Europa, because Mourinho knows how to win just that one game. That's what he does. So I think in Europa he might one up us, but not in the league. Also, I made a bet at the beginning of the season with an avid Tottenham fan when Arsenal was 17th and Tottenham was first in the league, that Arsenal was going to finish above Tottenham, and he owes me $100 steak dinner. So God, I hope. I really want that $100 steak. So
Get someone to deliver it.
Yeah.
I will say though, it's we in laughing about Liverpool, we should take a minute to also recognize that Tottenham's won another trophy this season. First place in November. That's an amazing trophy to win. It goes along with putting pressure on, winning the Audi Cup.
Oh my God!
It's their trophy cabinet. It's just, it rivals Madrid, which is it's amazing.
Wow. Real quickly though, Jota, he'll be back, and that's going to be his key to make it the top five. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. That's why I think they're going to make top five, because the Firmino, Mane, Sané, whatever Salah Mane thing going on, it's not working anymore. They need a Jota. They need a Jota. He was the reason why they won the November.
You only cut left and right so many times before defenders figure that out. You can only swing it out, Arnold, and then you cut left, cut right, cut left, chip. Eventually, he's gonna cut. He's gonna cut. Josh, real quick, who's your top four?
Yeah, obviously City. I think they've gone with that trophy. I don't think there's any catching up. It depends on how seriously they take the Champions League, but overall, I feel like they'll hold on to the top spot. Second, obviously, I want to say United just based on how we're playing, but I think the game next weekend against Chelsea is really gonna determine. That game is going to be crucial to see if Chelsea can continue this good form, and if we're good enough to keep the pressure on whoever is trying to challenge for second place. But
I'll say United. Eating my words.
Sorry?
No, the United Chelsea game. We might be back here. I might be eating my words about Tuchel.
Yeah.
And this whole league situation, but
United. Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be a good show actually. I should bring in the Chelsea buddy Eze.
I hear JP wants to talk to him.
Yeah,
I miss Eze.
yeah, he's been
This
smiling now though.
spotty
Now that
internet connection.
Tuchel's in charge.
Come to fix his internet first.
Yeah. Josh, third and fourth. You're beating around the bush.
Sorry, my bad. Third will probably be oh boy, I want to say Chelsea. I think Chelsea, they have a good enough squad now, and they're playing well. So I'll say Chelsea, and then I'll say Leicester will have to battle it with either Liverpool or West Ham.
West Ham. It's because Lingard is on West Ham.
No.
it.
I was
Take
watching
your
West Ham
fanboy
for a
goggles
while
off.
though.
Yeah,
Like
take
I've
your
been saying it
fanboy
all
goggles
season.
off.
The three apart
Man,
from
you just
City,
love Moyes so much.
no, apart from no. Honestly, I'm not even like a Jesse fanboy. I just felt like he's got some skill, and I think I just like his attitude. I think he's always positive, but I think
Yeah, he's a good
he's a
dancer.
decent player,
Yeah,
and I just
he's a good
felt
dancer.
the way he was treated wasn't fair. That's all.
I think it was fair given the way he acted at the Emirates Stadium when he scored that one goal. So I think he deserves everything that's coming to him. I know it's not personal stuff. Obviously, I don't wish that on anybody, but like
Yeah,
soccer pitch though, I think he's West Ham quality. He's not Man United quality. He's
yeah,
those dance moves though. Like I would love to chill with him at a club, in my single days. Now
yeah.
He falls into the bucket of
man.
English players that have a little pace and can turn, and now they're getting compared to Messi. And as an Arsenal fan, I can tell you all about those types of players.
Remember the World Cup Lennon when England had Lennon on the right, Walcott on the left.
Lennon. Oh my god, I
forgot about Lennon.
What happened to Lennon? Oh my goodness, I totally forgot about him. Yeah.
Lingard is what happened to Lennon. He got taken out.
No, happens to every single English winger that'll come through the game.
But seriously though, like West Ham, I would say like this season, apart from Man City, the teams that have actually enjoyed watching their games like midweek, Everton, West Ham, Aston Villa, and who else? There was somebody else.
Leicester City.
Arsenal.
Leeds.
I really like Bielsa. I really like.
Leeds.
That's why I like watching Leeds, but he just does not have the quality of players.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you can see what they're trying to do, and those are the games. Like honestly, like I've been saying it. I think the top 6 games, whereby it's the derby games, United versus Liverpool. I think those games are dead now in the water. It's just every manager is just trying to save face and hope that they don't get slapped by Liverpool or City. And then everyone else is so close together that they're just trying not to lose ground on each other. So because of that, everyone just becomes so pragmatic that it just takes away from the fun of those games.
That's why Mourinho's struggling, because the league is now it's like 16 Mourinhos. So now it's just not unique anymore. It's like they're pragmatic in him. Sorry, go ahead, Joel.
No. You guys are right. There's a lot of pragmatism in the league right now, but I also think, and I know people hate saying this, but not having fans in the stadium is making a huge impact for these top teams. You hear about everybody talking about the fortress, at Anfield. This weekend, it's like, Everton, it's the first time they won at Anfield in like 25 years. I'm like, yeah, that's great, except no one was there to watch it. I have actually stood in the Kop, when Liverpool's actually played Everton, right? And I can tell you, it is an insane atmosphere, right? And I watched games at Highbury against, in the heyday when we played United, we played the Chelsea teams when Mourinho first came up. It's fans and all of that stuff. It makes a difference. And now you're seeing a lot of these smaller teams punching above their weight, like I said, taking nothing away from them. Okay, I'm not taking anything away from them.
Look at Lyon and Ligue 1.
Yeah, but
you could almost say you could almost say it's like a good and bad, right? It's like you lose the atmosphere, but then it really strips it down. It's like, okay, take away the atmosphere, and it's just training ground soccer, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like these big teams, it's like that cop atmosphere. It's like a real serious advantage, right? The 12th man thing. It was always like, the 12th man. It's like, no, it's like there's actually legitimately a 12th man on there with them. Crazy. But I completely agree with that.
Yeah, I kind of once there's more parity. Yeah, and it's been fun, right? Like you get to watch games on Stadium Sound. You get to hear Arteta screaming every 5 seconds about something. Like,
Clapping. Good job, Pepe.
yeah.
Keep
Well,
doing
No,
the
no,
I
same
actually
thing.
do enjoy it. I enjoy like when the players are yelling at each other. Like, I actually do enjoy seeing that. It's nice
yeah.
to.
What what brand of mascara do you guys think Arteta uses? That's a
No, I
different.
think it's
Yo.
just the Spanish. It's just the Spanish eyes, man.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You know who? You know who you should be asking that question for? Reese
Who?
James. Reese James.
Oh wow,
This
yeah.
guy's got some Catwoman eyes. Like, what's going on here,
And
man?
there goes the show.
Yeah.
Where's Eze?
We're gonna be canceled.
But anyways, guys, this has been fun, man. This is always fun chatting with you guys. Hopefully, have some of you guys back on the show next week. The United Chelsea showdown, and I really wanted to have you guys for the Champions League show tomorrow, but it's during the day, so I know everybody will be at work. But anyways, guys, it's been fun. Those of you that have liked the video, those of you that are watching, I really appreciate it. Please continue to smash the like button, share, subscribe. And yeah, till next time, we will see you. And you
Arteta
guys
in.
take care. Stay safe, guys.